Greetings again, Juan Yenzer with Umanzor Group, Real Estate in the Metro DC area. And here again with a new episode of this podcast and new way of communication. As we start this, we start getting better. Now, I do have something else here, a new gadget, just on air. And so we'll be acquiring little things here and tips so that we can improve as it is our job to make us better every day. And how do we get better? By practicing on a daily basis the things that we want to accomplish. So that being said, today I'm really inspired. I'm inspired to tell you that real estate is one of the ways to build generational wealth. And as I think about it, and I think when I purchased my first home back in 2000, I purchased this property for, $171,000. I bought this property in Silver Spring. Interest rate back in the days where I remember it was 7.81%. So, and as I look back, it could probably be one of the best decisions I ever made. Um, why? Because, God is not making more land. And that's the way I see real estate. As things can, keep changing, the world keeps developing with, everything that is going on. What I realize is that no matter what is happening or revolving in the world, we're always going to need a place to live. I don't think we're going to be living in a bubble anytime soon. So let's continue investing in real estate. And yes, believe me, you could do it. You could actually invest on your first property and then start developing a rental portfolio. I have a client that it's on his seventh property and it's built a nice rental portfolio. But let's go back to that property I bought, my first property I bought in 2000. So remember, 171, interest rate 7.81, and guess what? Now the property is 550,000. All right, and then is rented for 3,500. So just think about it. When I purchased this home, I was really uncomfortable. That was my first home, but you know what? I said, I'm gonna do this, and I did. So I didn't know how I was gonna pay it. I just knew I needed to purchase this property. And I remember it took me even a year to get furniture in this house because I barely had the money for the down payment. And I did it. And I tell you, it's quite amazing. So, and in that regards, I want to encourage people to invest in real estate. Um, because obviously I preach real estate, so I actually consume what I preach. Like I do what I preach. So over the years, I not only develop a large rental portfolio, but also I have invested in hundreds of houses personally. And I've done all type of creative deals like, working with wholesalers, which is off-market properties, or dealing with banks and knowing how to work with banks to also get good deals, buying through auction properties. So there are different type of sales when it comes to a property that is for sale. And I'll tell you about it. We got the normal sale, which is something you will see in the MLS. Seller hire an agent to put this house for sale, and you'll be directing. Your agent, your buyer's agent, will be talking to the listing agent so that we can actually have meetings of minds and get a ratified contract. That's the traditional type of sale. Then in this market, you also see for sale by owners. That's another type of sale, and obviously different strategies, different approach to actually needed to actually get this type of properties. Then we have uh, bank on properties. Those properties normally are not in great shape, but you could get a good deal with these properties. Normally, banks take a little longer to actually give you an answer, but everything goes case by case. Then we have state sales. Those also are properties that may be dated, may not be in the best condition, and we need third party approvals on those. Again, that is a little longer and different process. We have auctions. An auction, I would consider it is the one of the most aggressive type of sales that somebody can get into. I really don't recommend this for a first-time home buyer just because it's risky. I mean, you got to buy this property as is, and some of them you even cannot even see. So you have to have cash in order to acquire these properties. And then we had chore sales, a pre-foreclosure type of sale. That is also a different approach. So as you navigate into this venture of purchasing a home, it is important that you talk to your agent and have him explain you all this type of sales. Because I normally, I have clients that are actually looking and they have a budget, right? And they see this property is very inexpensive. It says, Juan, there is a property, for $150,000, $200,000. What they don't know that is an auction. It's just the starting bid for that property. Once I explain that to them, obviously, and they know that is a risky type of sale, they said, you know what, never mind. But lots of things to know about real estate. I think in the previous episode I talked about ownerships and the way you're gonna own a property and the common ways in the United States are fee simple, which means you own the entire property, earth, anything beneath it, and the earth. And if you think the earth is not valuable, well, I'll tell you a story. The building that we were recently last year sold the air rights to the building next door, and that was decades ago. And guess what happens? So when somebody buys you air rights, that means you cannot build on top or do anything with the air. So it does have value. And then imagine if you find gold under your house is yours. So that is the best ownership that you can have in the United States. Then we have condominium ownership. That's a common ownership. I personally try to not to invest in condos just because it's not the best. And in a bad market, what I see, condos tend to actually depreciate the most and are harder to sell. And we just passed a pandemic, and a lot of people realized that was not the best investments just because it's a common ownership and you needed more space, and so you needed privacy and not to be in common areas. So people, also realized that condos were not the best. The ground rent ownership, which means you lease the rent. We have co-ops, and again, a lot of things that go with those type of ownerships. So once you talk to your agent will be able to explain you in details those type of ownerships. But anyhow, as I start this podcast, I would love to hear from you the things that you want to hear. How you can start a rental portfolio per se, or how can you buy multi-units, or what if you actually buy a land and you want to develop that land as well. All of those things that we can explore. Or if you want to actually buy a commercial building, strip mall, or things like that, I'll be happy to assist you and guide you with those things. Um, as I've been in this industry for 21 years, I have experienced a lot of situations in real estate, and better yet, I am an investor myself. I had done all type of creative transactions, like a innovation deal per se, which I partnered up with people that own properties, but they want to get the most out of the properties. I have ways to maximize the return on the sale of a property. So happy to assist with all your real estate needs. For now, I think that this is it. I'll be connecting with you all, and I next time I'm gonna take you to one of my flips. Actually, have a couple projects under construction right now. We'd love to do a podcast and take you to a project and teach you, what does it take to actually get a property and to get it to the finish line. Until then, thank you for listening. Thank you. Subscribe and let me know the things that I can improve. I'm just beginning on this, and I'm just authentic as it can get. So thank you, and I look forward to connecting with everyone.